Audio Jungle.
Hey everybody, welcome to Lifegasm. I'm your host JP, along with Elle. Say hello.
Hello.
And today, before we get to the cocktail mocktail thing, we're going to introduce our guest, which we have promised to have on.
Mm-hmm.
So Elle, please introduce us.
She's going to introduce herself.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, hello.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having me. My name is Liz Lerner. I am a psychotherapist here in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, and I have been doing this work for over 30 years, helping people get mentally fit.
Wow.
I specialize in mood disorders, like anxiety, depression, relationship issues, lots of stress related school, work, you name it, I've seen it.
I bet. Especially in this area.
Well, you're on the right podcast. Because
You
we
are,
can
'cause
use
you-
all the above.
You got two fucked up people right
All right, wonderful. Make it 3.
Well,
here.
well, Liz, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
We have talked about having, grab your favorite cocktail. We
Cocktail.
always start with
Oh,
a
okay.
cocktail.
Mocktail
Mocktail.
or smoketail.
Cheers.
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 So, yes.
Mm-mm-mm. Need that.
So what is the proper term if I said we've always wanted to have a therapist on? I feel like that is not the right word.
Well, there's different kinds of therapists. I'm a psychotherapist. My background is in social work. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. So there's other therapists who have a master's degree in family therapy, mental health. There's psychiatrists, which are doctors that
Right.
can prescribe medication.
Right,
So
right.
people get confused. Psychologists
Right.
that do therapy and do testing. I don't do testing.
Okay.
So
She just helps
call me a
fucked up
therapist.
people get through their shit.
Well,
You know,
And
and,
that's-
identify
mental
their
health therapist. Is that easier?
identify their
A mental health
issues.
therapist.
a mental health therapist, a
There you
mental
go.
health expert.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
So, okay.
So what I know you have things that we all want to discuss, and coming now to the end of the year, what did you want us to discuss?
Well, I was thinking,
on over there?
it's the end of the year. 2025 is right around the corner, and it's a really good time to kind of look at yourself and reevaluate or evaluate, what am I doing in my life? Like what am I doing in my relationships? It could be a romantic relationship, it could be friendships, it could be
Yes.
work-related
Right.
friendships. And it's a really good time to say, do I want to make changes, or do I want to stay stagnant, or do I
Right.
want to be happy?
Right. It's so like basically if you're in a toxic relationship, whether it be a friendship or romantic relationship, like what the hell am I doing?
Exactly.
I need to-
Especially if it's toxic or
Yeah.
you're in an abusive situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't really know that they are an abusive. They think that's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's hard to believe, but they think they deserve, like, oh, well, I deserved it because I
I did.
I,
I did this.
I'm
or
going
I
to
did
jump
that.
into there real
Yeah.
quick because I got to tell you, I've
Mhm.
met people
Mhm.
who have been in abusive relationships, and I listen to them talk, and it is perfectly normal, and they do think that it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. And to an
That's fucked
outsider,
up.
it's
That's
like,
fucked
oh
up.
my gosh.
it's actually, it's frightening because I see these people in my office and they tell me these scenarios and I'm thinking, if I told you what you're telling me,
Right.
your head would spin.
Right. Right. Yeah.
It is wild how we get caught up.
Right.
All right.
Exactly. And how do you get caught up though? Here's my thing. I just got out of a toxic relationship.
Mhm.
I'll give you a story time.
Did you know? Did we get out?
Yes.
Did we?
We're way out. So
minutes out.
We need to talk more after.
just shut the fuck up. And I like my head was spinning and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? This is so not me, first of
Mhm.
all. I didn't deserve any of it. I was like, what is wrong with me? Why? And then finally I like woke up, I guess, one day. I couldn't take anymore. And I said, get the fuck straight. Like
Mhm.
you do not deserve this. This it has nothing. You can't take it personally. What he does, you can't, you got to move on. You have got to get away from this
Yes.
situation.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that. A lot of people say the same thing, like, how the hell did I get here?
Yeah.
How does this happen? So it's very subtle. Usually at the
Yes.
beginning.
Yeah, it's a slow burn.
Right.
Yes.
The beginning,
Slow
slow burn.
Yeah.
Usually it's like something, it's like everything's like super fun in the beginning, and then
Yeah.
something happens, and like maybe the person does something not okay, and then you're just like, okay, fine, I'll just give them a pass.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
it happens again, and then you're like, it takes
and then it keeps
right,
happening.
Right. So I think a lot of it you can attribute it to like your like childhood issues, like
Right.
people pleasing or wanting to have
that's
people,
me.
like you.
Yes.
Or,
People
I'm
taking
older,
care of somebody.
Right. Oh, who's gonna want me? I'm old.
Yeah.
Who's gonna want to date me? So I might as well just stick around. And
I never thought that. But anyway.
Good. I'm glad. But some people do that.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
No, some people do that.
Yeah.
They'll be
Yeah.
like,
No, I
"Oh."
believe that.
Yeah, but of course they do.
Yeah.
I think that.
No, I don't. I've never thought that.
Some people, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I've been with this person for,
No,
for
I'm
5
serious. I've never
years.
thought that.
I believe that.
Yeah,
But I
I
give
get
them
a lot of action.
A lot of
I
people
need it.
don't realize how sick the relationship has been until they actually see it on paper. And that's an exercise I give people where I
What
tell
do you
them
mean
to-
on paper?
Whoa.
Write it down.
when people are like, oh, I love him and I miss him. I'm like, well, did you miss him when he,
Yeah.
cheated on
Right.
you? Did you miss him when he forgot to get you a birthday card
Right.
and take you out to dinner?
Right.
So you write down on a piece of paper on one side all the things that you really liked about the person, and on the other side, all the things that really messed
Bad.
with you. Yes,
Yeah.
that really hurt you.
Yeah.
Right? Like deal breakers.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
There's so many.
But it
Ridiculous.
It actually helps.
Yeah.
Does it though?
I'm doing that
I mean,
tonight
I believe that it
just to
helps.
keep me on focused.
Yes, because it reminds you.
Because every time I broke up with him, which was 20 times,
Mhm.
I mean, he'd draw me back
Right.
with
because-
something.
And it's manipulation.
Manipulation.
And it's not real.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
happens is you have to be strong, and you need to have a team of people, whether it's your friends, family,
Yeah.
a professional, somebody that's going to tell you, do you remember what he did to you?
Yeah. Like it's
Do you
not
remember when he
okay.
disinvited you on the ski trip? Do you
Right,
remember when,
right, right.
like he left
Like
you
he does
at a
not
bar?
love you. He is not a healthy person. You
No.
cannot have a healthy
No.
relationship with this toxic fucking asshole.
That's right.
Is
So
bottom line.
this is why at the end of the year, we will evaluate.
Yes.
All right, let me
Yay
tell
or
you-
I
nay.
love this.
All right, but I'll tell you
What?
why.
Mhm.
All right, see, I'm going to get close. I think she needs to back up a little bit. My earballs are blowing up. No, it might just be the volume of my my
Oh.
things. I'll tell you why I think. So I absolutely agree, and I love the idea because I think at the end of the year, that's what we do.
Mhm.
Whether it's work, we always find ourselves because it's the new year coming. So it's like, let me evaluate my life, my job, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. But when it comes to relationships, because it's the
Holidays.
it's like you can't break up because it's the holidays.
Or you can.
Or
There's
you
never
can.
a good time.
I know,
to
there's
break
never a
up.
Well, but the holidays are probably
I
the
know.
worst.
It is the worst. It is the worst.
But I love
Right?
the idea because I'll just give you, I just bought a new mattress
Mhm.
because I said I'm going into the new year
Oh.
sleeping because I've been sleeping like shit. I know it's a stupid example.
No,
I
but it's
thought it was for
important,
the-
though.
I thought it was for
But-
your girlfriend.
No,
Oh.
but so I've been going through things saying before the year ends,
Mhm.
there are things on my list I want done so that I can start a new year. And so it is work. I do have work things, and certainly relationships. I think it's very important to stop and evaluate. I don't think I've ever been in a relationship like you guys, what you're talking about as abusive. I know people who have been.
Mhm.
And for me,
What about you?
never having been in one,
Okay.
no, an abusive relationship.
There's different kinds of abuse.
Well, yeah.
too.
There's, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's emotional abuse.
There's
There's
financial
physical abuse.
abuse.
Emotional. I had
Physical
emotional.
abuse.
I had emotional. And
Well, I don't know that I've been in any real type of.
well, what about your marriage that ended after 20 something years? What do you call that?
I don't know that was an abusive relationship.
She pretty much cheated on you. That's
Well, she
abuse in
cheated
my
on me.
Well, that's abuse in my eyes.
Yeah,
isn't it?
but it ended.
That's abuse.
Well, it's betrayal and abuse.
Betrayal. Yeah, it's
well,
betrayal.
okay, and I agree with that, but it ended. If I stayed in and she was
Mhm.
still doing that, that's
Right.
where I say, who could do that?
Right.
But a lot of people do, and
Oh,
I
they
can
do. They stay.
absolutely.
You're
But
like, oh, okay.
and I can understand because you're comfortable. You don't want to start over. Who else is going to take me?
And That's why people get mentally ill and
and
end up on my couch
Yeah.
because they looked aside
Yes.
And they're like, okay, this happened.
Yeah.
And then it just fucks with you.
It's the foundation of your relationship is trust.
Yes, absolutely.
And if there's no trust and respect, you're toast. Like, forget it.
Toast.
All right. So
and I know I didn't have that. So I should have known better.
Well, I told you that from day one.
All right. Let's not even get into it. Asshole.
How do you go about helping somebody who comes into your office and says, I'm in this relationship, I'm not really happy, I want out, but at the same time, I really like this person, it's comfortable. From your side, how do you teach or coach somebody to understand and then get out and stay out?
Well, it's kind of basic. It's kind of like when we were in kindergarten and we talked about like self-esteem, confidence, social skill building. Okay. That's kind of like what it is. When someone sits on the couch and they tell me they're comfortable, but they're not really happy. We have to go to the basics, which is your confidence. How do you feel about yourself? How do we gain some
self-esteem?
That's right. Positive.
Yeah, but do you help them?
Yes, I teach them
how. I would like to.
You have to be taught these things. If you don't know what confidence is,
that's her job.
No, but here's what and I don't mean to interrupt, but here's why I asked that question. Okay. I've been to a therapist, and I've been to probably 2 or 3 in my lifetime. All of them sit and listen, but nobody has really ever offered solutions.
That's the wrong therapist.
Dr. Nick never offered you a solution?
No, he was great, but
he offered me. We actually had the same therapist and didn't know it until we started this show.
Yay!
But
Is that
no,
hilarious?
I was.
But we don't go to him anymore.
Okay,
because this is not that.
I was never offered solutions.
When someone steps foot in my office, they come in and they leave completely different.
Really?
If they stick with me, I promise you will be different. Because I'm going to be with you every step of the way of your new transformation. The old you would have been completely down and out. The new you is confident, strong. You learn what integrity is.
Yes, important.
Okay. We are not doormats.
No.
We are premium top notch. We don't need to wait around for some dusty guy or girl to call us and ask us out on a date. We can take our own self on a date.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
There's plenty of people out there.
I can buy myself flowers.
That's right.
There you go.
Which I have. For my house.
Oh my God.
All right, but I think that's key to me. And I don't know if any listeners out there are thinking the same thing, because I think everybody at some point or time, has sat in that chair. And for me personally, I have never sat with one who has actually given me solutions.
Oh, you'd have a blast in my office.
I might have to go try it out.
It's worth every cent.
Wow.
Yeah, because I leave thinking that was just another hour paid and I'm no better off than I was when I went in. And now I got to go back and do the same thing. I can do this at home.
That's right.
Where I'm paying an expert who's supposed to be able to help see through my cracks and say, okay, here's what we need to do.
That's right. Help. In my office, it's a very interactive. I'm going to know about you. You're going to know things about me, and we're going to talk. And if we go around in circles, and before you know it, you're cured. Okay?
That sounds
wow.
I'm telling you, I might have to try this out.
I make it sound easy. I mean, you have to do the work, but if you listen and it's a lot of education because people don't understand, what codependency is, for instance.
Exactly.
People pleasing. You learned that you might have learned that as a little kid. So then you're going to attract that into your relationship.
Oh, it's so bad.
Right?
Well, and then, I do it all. It's awful.
And look, I bet I
do it with my friend. I do it with everyone.
Not anymore. You won't.
And a few of my friends, very good friends, have said, "Oh my God, you have to think about yourself first. You are number one. No one else.
Right.
Stop putting everybody before you."
I teach something called boundaries. Remember those?
Yeah.
Boundaries. What are healthy boundaries?
Yeah.
Right? And how to implement them and then execute them.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like we can talk all day long, but if we don't actually do them, it's like a simple thing. Like it's the holidays. And say someone invites you somewhere and you don't really want to go. You say, thank you so much for the invitation, but I already have another.
Right. You can
don't
say
have to be like,
no.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or yes, I'll be there.
Yes.
And
you
why
really
did I say that.
Right. Exactly. I do it all the time.
It's not a big deal. It's so fun once you learn the skill.
Yes.
You're like a badass.
It's taking control. Right.
It's so fun. You're like a new person.
You have to get your badass back.
Yeah. I mean, I'm badass, but I need to get it.
Where you're sparkling.
Yeah, I'm sparkly. And no one's going to dull my fucking sparkle.
That's right.
Fuck that shit.
Well, you forget who you are until you
do,
until
because
I remind you
get
who you are. Right.
sucked in.
All right. So on that note, I think it's difficult or can be difficult. I bet if I sat on your couch, you would tell me all kinds of stuff. And I'd be like, fuck, you're right. I never thought about it like that. And then, until you have those epiphanies or, those revelations about yourself, until you learn those things, I think it's difficult to be in a relationship because it kind of goes back to what we had talked about in previous episodes. You have expectations, you have ideas, you have thoughts, but those are sometimes coming from a place inside you that you just haven't yet discovered and learned how to,
Exactly. You only know who you are based on what someone has told you.
That's true.
Right?
Right.
So if you grow up and your parents tell you, oh, you're not smart, or
Right.
you're never going to amount to anything, or no one's going to love you, you think that. But then one day you wake up
That's awful.
and you say to yourself, wait a second, I am smart. Look at me.
Or if you're in a relationship and you're stuck and it's, whether it's abusive, toxic, non-affectionate, then you're going to take and build off that as, oh, they don't like me.
That's
or,
right.
Oh, this. And
Or you're going to try to change them.
Right. And
You're
we know
going-
that's not
And we know that's
possible.
not going to happen. Or you have hope that they will be a better person because they're with you and you're trying to teach them how to be better. It's not
No.
going to work.
No, when you're in a relationship, being in a healthy relationship is like the cherry on top of your life.
Yes.
If you're happy with yourself and you can live life and do life and work and do whatever you enjoy doing, your hobbies, and you have a partner who adds to it, I mean, you're lucky. Your life is not because you have a great partner, right? Because
Right.
you can't just depend on one person
Right. Of
to
course.
make you happy.
Yeah.
You have to intrinsically be happy.
Yes. Absolutely. 100%.
So do you do a lot of couples counseling?
I sure do.
How does that work?
It's really not my favorite, but because there's a lot of fighting and arguing that can go on, but
Yeah.
but I actually have helped a lot of couples
See,
communicate.
I think most couples, whether dating or married, should go to couples therapy.
Absolutely not. I
I do.
hate when you say that.
I know.
I
He
hate
hates
when
it.
you. I
That's it. She's
fucking.
got a problem.
I hate when you say that because if I am dating somebody and we have to go to couples therapy, there's a fucking problem.
It's not that you
We're
have
not
to
doing
go.
that. No. No.
It definitely is not. I think
It's certainly you wouldn't go if everything is fantastic. But how often does everything fantastic? I think the only reason that I say that, because I've said this before and she gets the same response every time, is to trust, for one, which you've already mentioned.
But if you don't have the trust, then why go on with the relationship?
You didn't let me finish.
All right, whatever.
And communication. You learn how to communicate. And there's always there's, in my experience,
You're referring
which is
to
very
the love
little.
languages. I know you are. That fucking book that you read.
No, but
Yes.
communication is
You
key,
love that.
and it's not.
You love that book. It's
Throw it into
love
the trash.
languages.
I was not.
Yes.
I'm saying I have met a lot of couples where there's little things that turn into
That's right.
bigger things where they did not necessarily have to become that. And it's a communication.
it's the bottom line is this. You know what people fight over? Sex, money.
Oh.
Sex.
Okay. So if you're not getting the sex you want, you're going to be arguing about who unloaded the dishwasher.
All right.
Yeah, because I don't think
You're
5
talking
times a
married
day is
couples.
unreasonable.
You're talking married.
No, it could,
couples.
or you
all
live
right.
with the person.
Well, all right. Well, but if you're not living,
But I mean, those
I had
are the
sex.
big.
The only thing I had was sex, pretty much.
Right. But
When I
mean,
thought about it.
but I mean, but the other part, like that, that's probably what made it last so long because
Right. Yes.
that's another topic because you literally get physically
Yes.
like addicted to that person.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that, and tell me if I'm off. So for a guy, guys are so easy. Like, just have sex with him, and he's happy. Fine. You want me to do this? I'll do that. Women are a little more complicated. But a guy, if you show a guy affection and you treat him like he's wanted.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be like a king. Just show him that he's wanted, treat him like he's desired. Then he will then be more in tune to, I think, seeing what you want and being, because women are it's not all about sex. They want other things. Well, maybe you, but they want other things.
Shut up.
But I'm saying it's about reading your partner.
I think consideration is a very important word that we should use. If the man is considerate of the female, or your partner, whatever, or even if you're in same-sex relationships, if the person's considerate of the other person's needs, then the other person's going to say, "Wow, this person cares about me," and then that's when you have a lovely connection.
You have to be.
I said that the other day. If each person is thinking about the other person,
you're being chauvinistic a little bit. Like the man has to be king. Well, the woman has to be.
He doesn't have to be king.
Well,
I said he doesn't have to be king.
I said it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just like the female, like you want her to feel like a lady, a princess.
Did everybody catch that right there?
A princess. Okay?
But the woman should be a queen.
Right. I'm just saying it goes both ways.
Right. It goes both ways.
And that's what a healthy it can't just be one-sided, but
no, because that's when it goes bad, is when somebody is selfish and they're not thinking about the other. I've always said, if I spend my time and energy thinking about my partner and what she wants and making her happy, and if she would do the same, that in of itself creates a great relationship.
Absolutely.
Because you're looking for the other person.
Right. But it should flow nicely though. It shouldn't be like, oh, what can I do to make this person happy? It should flow easily like, oh, I'm going to the supermarket. My boyfriend likes this special whatever.
Yeah, right.
Pick it up for them.
Right.
That's how you know it's nice.
And then you get home and you give it to him, and he's like, and you're like,
no, the right guy's
no, I'm just saying. Oh my God, yes, that will be the wrong guy.
But that'd be the wrong
right guy.
You call Liz and say, I need to get out of this relationship.
Exactly. Help me.
Where do I bring the car?
All right. So okay. There's a couple of things. You talk about people learning things. You don't know if codependence, abusive, whatever. People don't even know what it is. We talked about depression. People don't even know what depression is or if they're depressed. How do you teach people, or how do people learn? Do they have to go? Or how do you learn these things?
I have to teach people, to do a lot of reading. So if they come in, they're like, I'm not sleeping. I'm thinking about all kinds of things. I'm having weird thoughts. I'm like, okay, those are called intrusive thoughts, unwanted thoughts. I educate them.
God, I have a lot of those. What do you do with those?
That's a whole other topic. But
that's a whole.
it's a thing.
Really? So, oh God,
right,
that's a whole other podcast. We still have a lot more to go on this.
I have to be very alert when people come to my office. I'm listening to everything they say, and then I pull it all together. So I say, at the end, you're depressed. You're not eating. You don't even enjoy the things you used to like to do. You're isolating yourself. You're not living life. You're going through the motions of life, and you are depressed. Right?
And you can actually get that way from being in a toxic relationship.
Write that down.
Yes, you can.
I am depressed.
Depression, there's like different levels of depression too.
But aren't you seeing more? So you've been doing this for 30 years. Is it right to say that depression has skyrocketed in the past 10 years?
100%.
And
the past 5 years, especially.
Well, since COVID or?
Horrible. Yes. Since 2020.
So what do you attribute all of our depression to and anxiety? Because we've talked about this in the beginning. I don't know if we ever posted that show. But I think we all agree.
No, but that's like a huge topic.
Well, it is. But what do you attribute that to? Is it social media? Is it just the world? Because that's what they say is we're so isolated.
I know. We did that. And we did have a show on that.
And I was just talking to somebody about a 10-year-old who is suicidal because she doesn't feel like she fits in. She does not.
It's true.
Equate or, whatever to what she sees.
No, you are correct. The social media is horrible for kids because
you don't think it's bad for adults? I think
it's horrible for adults too.
Let's say,
but they don't get the attention that kids do.
Okay. Oops. But I'm going to just throw this out here because back to the relationship topic.
Uneducated opinion.
Back to the relationship topic. Like, guy or girl cruising on Instagram. That you're in a relationship with, kind of liking other women's posts, guys' posts. It's almost like
That's the wrong guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of emotionally cheating.
It's abusive.
What's it called? Abusive.
If you're entertaining somebody else on your Instagram,
and that's
you're
a
like,
huge
oh man, you're hot.
problem.
You want to go out?
It's a huge problem.
Yeah, but I think you guys are talking about two different things.
No, we're not.
No, part of social media is the distraction of social media.
Distraction of social media and relationships.
Like I said, they slide into your DMs.
Yes.
Hey, you're hot. You want to get together? Like,
yeah, but that's all right. If that's happening, without question,
it happens every day.
Right, but we were talking about toxic relationships, and this is one point that does come up.
Well,
one form of abuse that does come up.
Right,
That's why I get on it.
We should call it social media abuse.
But that's why and this is why she gives me a hard time. Because I don't like social media at all. I'm not on it.
Meanwhile, we're doing it right now.
Exactly.
Well, we rely on social media for the show. But
and he doesn't go on.
No, but here's the thing, and I've said this all along, and she gets mad at me. So with my divorce, so my ex-wife was cheating on me. Mm-hmm. And it was really in my face, but I didn't know it until I saw the attention on the phone. And that's kind of what made me think, what's going on? Then I started picking up, then I found out, and then, whatever. So for me, because the phones are so easily accessible and, what's the word? Sneaky. Mm-hmm. Everybody's scrolling. They're always, everything's on, whether Instagram, Facebook, whatever, TikTok, you're watching reels, you're doing everything. So when I see somebody on that, the DMs and all that can slide right in without knowing. So I don't like it at all because I want your attention.
Right. It's a very ugly distraction. I mean, I'm working during the day, so I don't really even look at the social media. But at nighttime, I have to say, I like TikTok.
Right, of course.
I like to make the TikToks too.
I'm a TikTok addict.
I'm a TikTok addict. I like to read recipes. I'm like an old lady, but let me tell you something. But if you're like a pervert, you know what I mean? Like you're going to find something.
Or your partner is an asshole and a toxic piece of shit. He's scrolling. He or she is scrolling and
talking to other women in other countries.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you're on, whatever, and a old friend sees you and happens to message you.
That's a good one too.
And so you're sitting there and now it pops up. What do? If it's me, I ignore it. I don't respond at all. But I'm not on, so I don't have that problem.
Right.
Because I don't talk to anybody. But I know everybody does. And it's not necessarily that you reached out. It's always the people that reach out to you and open that door.
And if you're at a low point in your life, right, and you're just kind of down, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, or if you're in a relationship that's like, I don't know if I want to be in this. And it's like, something better is coming along.
Right, a bad relationship. Right.
It doesn't have to be bad. It just has to be
I think that God,
mundane,
if we want to talk about God for a second.
Yes.
Talk about what?
God for a second.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that God puts people in your life
for a reason.
It could be a test. It could be something.
Thank you.
There's takeaways. Right. So even if you dated this guy that was very toxic and unhealthy for you.
Oh, I learned a lot.
Yes, you did.
Let me tell you about myself.
That was your lesson.
Yeah,
right?
that was my lesson. It was a huge lesson.
Mm-hmm. I've learned a lot.
And let me tell you, I'm going to be the best version of myself.
That's right. But I do believe that
kicked my ass.
Certain things come into your life for reasons,
yes,
right? And
yes,
I do a lot of praying about that.
But I grew up very religious.
Okay,
so that's been instilled, and it's been So I absolutely believe that everything happens for a reason. You run into people. There's certain times, moments. It's all meant to be.
Yes,
and that's why if you're in tune with yourself and comfortable with yourself, you can see, but maybe not. Maybe you don't have to be. I don't know. I'm getting off my tangent.
I don't know. I think
you're
getting your brain, get your brain checked out.
Yeah, but back to
no, because otherwise
back
you're
to
all
our
over
topic.
the place.
Back to our topic: the toxic relationships, reevaluating your relationship with friends, whoever.
Well,
how do you identify it? How do you identify it?
Toxicity?
No, but people don't know. If they don't know, you have to say, "Do you feel safe when you're around this person?"
Right.
Are you scared to say how you feel? Are you walking on eggshells? Do you hide things from your partner?
That's a biggie.
Yes.
Are you avoiding certain things, certain topics?
Certain topics.
You get anxious.
Certain places to go. Certain friends to meet out.
Do you startle easily?
Right.
I mean,
Right. You have to identify all those things. I mean, red flags. As soon as you see one, we already did a show on red flags, which was great. From now on, one red flag, I'm fucking out. No one's getting any more chances. You got one, we're done. That's it.
Right. Now, I mean, I guess it would depend on the shade of the flag.
Well,
if it's a touch red,
if it's red,
if it's super red,
if it's
peace
red,
out. But if it's like a touch of
like
red,
pink,
maybe, and then
pink, maybe, you give them a chance.
Well, all right. I'm going to give you, though, just a little personal insight to me. For me personally, what I've learned, and she's going to have her crazy boo-hoo on this comment, but I've learned that some of the things that I have, some of the issues I've had that I've put on, somebody else, I've then circled back around to say, you know what, it wasn't their problem, it was mine, because of experiences that I had in the past. Like we've talked about trust issues. I have had to learn to trust people again, because I can go off the deep end real quick because of my, what happened. I mean, I was together for 20 years. She was having this affair right under my nose and my kids, and never in a million years would I have thought that happened. So to me, it's like, well, if she can do it, anybody can do it. And we've talked about that. And so it's not fair for me to push that level on other people. And so I have found that I've created some of my own issues because of my own trust issues. Insecurity. It's because I think, and I've had people that are close to me say, dude, you've got to stop thinking the way you think, because not everybody does that. And there's just things that set me off because I think, well, that's what they're doing. And they're like,
right,
no,
you're assuming
they're not.
Right. You're a little paranoid.
Oh, not
a little,
a touch.
A touch.
Well, it's the voices in this head won't go away. They won't stop talking. But no, so yes, how do you determine toxicity? But it's not just relationships with, partner, it's family. Because I have some family where it's like, holy shit, I've cut off or I have limited time because of that very thing. And I should send a certain person to you. You'd be busy for the next 20 years. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, so how do you reevaluate and how do you change and what do you do?
Well, get a piece of paper or write it in your phone. Right. Just start writing down
that list.
Just take notes about like how you feel about this person or things you want to, what you'd like to see, or even like how you feel. Like some people might want to write down, I'm not as funny as I used to be. I don't go out. I don't enjoy the thing, so you're like, okay, well, I want to start doing the things I enjoy doing. Right. Because you can work on yourself too and see how that works out in the relationship.
And then you have to distance yourself from that person, right? I mean, you have to slowly get away from them. Don't you think that? I mean, I had a breakup with a friend too recently, like one of my best friends, supposedly.
Really hard.
It was really hard, but it was going on for long. I let it go too long. The negativity, the way she made me feel, the way it was bad. It was bad. I had to do it. And I feel so much better now. Oh my God. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, because you have more energy now because you sucked the life out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be draining for sure.
It's draining. And it's so you did, all right. So,
but to reevaluate it's really simple.
Looking at sit down. This is it. The end of the year, the holidays, the New Year's coming. This is what we're all going to do. We're going to make our list.
Do we have?
We're going to move forward, Johnny.
All right, give yourself a timeline. Good. Timeline. So, obviously I would have, if we did this maybe in September, I would have said, okay, everyone.
Right.
Pay attention.
No, we have 3 weeks.
We've got 3 months to get ourselves organized here. Give yourself a timeline. So, okay, we're in December, so we're going to reevaluate. And in 3 months from now, after Valentine's Day or whatever.
Right.
See, that's why it's impossible, because it's the holidays and it's Valentine's Day.
I know.
It's like the world is set to never give you a break.
Or do it before.
Stop it!
Or do it February 1st.
So negative.
You could save yourself a lot of money if you're a guy.
Know.
Yeah.
If the female's not.
Well, I'm going to save money. I mean, I'm good.
No, but so what tools do we have?
Well, we have to do a lot of like what I call self-reflection, right? Is it me or is it you type of thing? What are your traits that are contributing too? Because we can do a lot of self-sabotage ourselves.
Yes.
If
I'm
you have,
king of that.
where we push someone perfectly good away.
Yeah.
Right. But
Exactly. Because of your own self-sabotage.
These are the tools. You got to sit down with yourself. Is this person a good match for me? Write down all the stuff, the good, the bad, the ugly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, you look at the paper and you grade yourself.
Grade yourself, right.
If
I got a fucking F- with that asshole.
You have to grade yourself.
Fucking
right?
F-.
Right?
Yeah. So now I know.
Now you know. You're not going to, and not repeating
We're not repeating.
those behaviors again.
We're not repeating the
That's the hard
behaviors,
part.
Donnie.
The hard part.
But also reading a lot about different topics. Like some people don't even know, like, I'm just going to say the word a narcissist is. Like they don't know what they've never
We're
heard
doing
of
a
it.
show on that.
We've already done 5.
No, yeah, but we didn't.
Narcissism is...
No. Let's
We're
not
not-
get
we're
into
not
it. We're not going there. It's a
detail.
huge topic.
Some people don't know what personality disorders are.
Right.
You could have a parent that could be borderline personality. You can have a parent that's a narcissist. You could, people that have
Or a partner or
a
friend.
person who's got like a mental health disorder, right?
Oh, yeah.
Issue.
Oh, yeah.
So, you think, oh, why is my mom so mad at me all the time? Well, it's not you. She's got.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
I teach people to take a step back and kind of, put a boundary and kind of not let their behavior filter into your feelings. Because that's what we call like attachment issues, which is another topic.
Yeah.
When you attach to somebody's nasty
We have
behavior.
to do a few, we have to do a lot of psychoanalysis podcasts. I think we should do it in parts.
Well, there's a lot there. Topics. So reading. I'm an avid reader.
Mm-hmm.
I like to read. And I've read a lot of self-help books, which I think is probably why I realized I'm so...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We all have issues.
Oh, my God.
But, so besides reading, I mean, what are some other things that people... Because I think you can apply what you're saying to not only relationships, but work. You can sit down and evaluate your job and say, is this what I want to do? Is this what makes me happy?
Also, hobbies. Say you've always wanted to be a singer, okay? I had a lady and that was her goal. And guess what? Now she sings along with her regular job. She's a school teacher, right? She has her own.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, but she,
she's probably thrilled.
She is amazing. She's probably like, I just love that when people actually execute the plan.
Right.
If someone's like, I want to start playing piano. And then they start playing and they're really good at it. And then the next thing you know, they're playing, for other people.
And if
or
they're
whatever.
bad at it, then you tried.
Exactly.
And you move on to something else.
Right.
But inaction is the worst thing you can do. And I try to tell people, because isn't that what everybody says? Try it. You have to fail to know. So just try. Keep trying. Keep moving. Life
is an adventure. You only have one life.
I know.
You want to sit around and do nothing?
Well, Yoda says try, no try, do.
Well,
yeah. No trying. Just do it. That's it. Just only do it. All right. So I think that what we learned is that we have to reevaluate, evaluate, come into the end of the year, evaluate everything in your life, all your relationships, and start to change them. That's what we're going to do. Right, Johnny?
I'll be evaluating.
Right, Johnny? You're going to make your list?
To make it a little easier for you,
I'll be evaluating.
You can break it down into 3 things, people, places, and things.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Write that down. So people in your life, do you want to hang out with this friend group? Do you want to be with this person? You want to date this person? You want to work at this place?
Right.
Do you still want to be in this club that you joined?
Right. Do you still want to do this
really
fucking podcast?
Yeah. It's not hard. It's just you have to do it.
Reevaluating.
Shut up. You asshole.
So.
All right. So, yeah, well.
No, Liz, I think you're a
because we can do so many different topics, I think, with Liz.
And I kept this rated G.
Yeah.
For all of the viewers.
Because usually we're not. We're rated R because we were very
rated G
we were very subtle
somebody
tonight.
Wants to really enjoy it.
Oh no, we're R.
No.
Sometimes that's
triple
X. I like being triple.
We don't have to be.
But for today, for my first time here, I just want to be.
Yes, and I think that we need to definitely dive into the other topics that we discussed tonight. And
I think we absolutely could. Yes, I think you are a wealth of information. Is that the right word?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
And I think it would be wonderful to to hit a topic and dive into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because between the two of us, I mean,
we got a lot of fucked up shit going on. As you can tell.
Everyone has issues. Yeah, everyone has issues.
Nobody's perfect.
No.
Major.
And you know, that's something that I think people need to understand because
okay.
we're not all perfect.
Listen, a lot of the people that I work with are in the healthcare. Okay. We have a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Right. You know, you're helping people to, and then you have your own personal life. Yeah.
I mean, it's a tough place today.
The good news is that there's help.
There you go.
There
is help.
So where can people find you?
Where can people find you?
You can find me in Palm Beach Gardens. I'm all over the internet. FYI, just Google my name.
What's your name again?
Elizabeth Lerner.
There you go.
Elizabeth Lerner, and you will find me
so much. Thank you. And where can our listeners and viewers find us?
Everywhere you find your favorite podcast: Apple, Spotify, Instagram at lifegasm_podcast.
Facebook,
TikTok at lifegasm_podcast.
Oh my God, you're so bad at social media.
You heard me say I'm not on social media.
Facebook is Lifegasm Podcast, and YouTube is Lifegasm Podcast. And also, we will be on X soon. And please follow, share, and download. Download's very important. And bookmark, I just found out, is very good too. So please do that. If you have a topic or questions, please DM us. Please make comments on any of these social handles.
So will you come back?
Absolutely. I would love to come back.
Great.
So send us. So we want some comments.
Send us questions, please. And let's do a gasm of the week.
Let's hear it.
A gasm of the week. Never make yourself feel like nothing to make someone else feel like everything.
Okay.
It's good, right?
I like it.
All right. Good night. Thanks
for listening.
Bye.